can we take those concepts into, I've got a student who's very anxious around exams. I've got a student that's really anxious about coming to school or uncomfortable about getting into the classroom. I'd love to really build on some of those day-to-day things that are going on that I think the teachers and the parents are both genuinely seeing and concerned about and going, how do I deal with that in an appropriate way?
Mm. Yeah, and the older a child is, as they're getting through to adolescence, then anxiety looks a lot more like adult anxiety, and we've got a little bit more options. We can inquire, you can do a little bit more cognitive work, and we can meet them a little bit more there. When we're going down to younger children, anxiety sometimes looks a little bit different, and it can be harder for children to really report why they're anxious about the situations they're in. It might look like crying, it might look like outbursts, it might just look like clinging to a parent. And in those kinds of situations, I think that the most important thing is to, we're talking about modeling before, is to ourselves take a beat and model calmness and model that the situation is safe, because here we are feeling safe in that situation. And then, trying to understand if there's additional stresses. A child that's getting anxious about going to school, for example, if that is to do with the chaos of, I mean, I've dropped my kids off at primary school and high school. Sometimes it's an absolute zoo walking into those gates. If that seems to be something that is making it more challenging, well, we can accommodate, we can moderate that, we can try to go at an earlier, quieter time, take a different gate, those sorts of things in the first instance. So if there are unnecessary stresses, then it might be reasonable to remove that. Um, and then I think the next really important thing is recognizing what we were just talking about, what's going on in the brain and what the brain kind of can and can't do in that situation. Um, and not trying to treat and not try to over explain, keep things really simple, keep things really brief, reassure safety, reassure security in terms of, here I am with you and we can do this together, we can manage this situation together. And then taking the time, if you've got it, for that person to see that, to learn that, yep, this is an okay situation that I can manage.